Mysterious but bold, small but powerful, spontaneous but calculating. These are the contradicting descriptors that capture the complicated life and career of Madame Sul-Te-Wan, one of Hollywood's first black character actors and a woman credited with being the first black performer to sign a Hollywood film contract. There is so much to learn about Madame Sul-Te-Wan, but we're going to condense it all into 13 facts for sweet and simple, quick trivia about historic black cinema stars. Nobody is completely certain where the name Madame Sul-Te-Wan came from. In fact, her origin story is one of many things that Madame Sul-Te-Wan was known to embellish. But what we do know is that she was born Nellie Crawford in Louisville, Kentucky on March 7, 1873. Young Nellie's father, Silas Crawford, deserted the family when she was a child. And in order to support herself and her family, Nellie's mother, born Mary Kennedy, worked as a laundress. Many of Mary's clients were theater actresses, and when Nellie delivered laundry to Louisville's Buckingham Theater, she would watch the actresses perform and imitate their every move. She was especially entranced by Mary Anderson and Fanny Davenport, who'd taken an interest in her in return. Anderson and Davenport convinced the theater's owner, John Whalen, to let Nellie enter a buck and wing dance contest, where she won. Crawford became very popular in Louisville theaters and saloons, but when she was a bit older, possibly when she was a teenager, she and her mother moved to Cincinnati where more theatrical opportunities were available to her. By this time, she went by the stage name of Cleo de Londa. Nellie Crawford met her husband, Robert Conley, while performing throughout the East Coast. They married in about 1906, likely having settled near Chicago, as their first two sons, Onest and James, were born in Evanston, a small suburb near the Windy City. Around 1910, the Conleys, Nellie, Robert, Onest, and James, sometimes referenced by his middle name, Otto, moved to Arcadia, California. Sadly, Robert would abandon his wife when their youngest son, Ollie, was 3 weeks old. But the show went on, and Nellie eventually moved her boys to sunny Los Angeles, subsequently taking on the stage name of Madame Sul-Te-Wan, intentionally or inadvertently making it so that anyone who addressed her had to call her Madame. Madame Sul-Te-Wan's first screen appearance was in the 1915 short The Cause of It All, where she played Mary, the hotel cook. That same year, she made her monumental appearance in D.W. Griffith's The Birth of a Nation, where, like other actors in the film, she donned different costumes to play several roles. It has been reported that D.W. Griffith wrote a scene in which Sul-Te-Wan was supposed to play a rich landowner who spits in the face of a white woman who slights her and calls her a slur. However, censors advised that the scene be cut, and it was. The tale of rags to riches especially applies to Madame Sul-Te-Wan's fashion sense. Having shown up to Los Angeles with very little clothing, all of Hollywood would recognize Madame for her work, as well as for her flamboyant style. Madame notoriously appeared in public wearing colorful outfits, turbans, and as much jewelry as her body could handle. Tragedy would strike the Conley family twice in the early to mid-1930s. On May 10, 1934, her second son, James, aka Otto, died at the age of 26. Then, a year later, on May 5, 1935, her youngest son, Ollie, died from complications of heart and liver failure. Her eldest son, actor Onest Conley, lived to be 82 years old.
Fanny Fitton, you got on everything. Did you know? Lord, boy, you was dressed up. Do you know this is all woman? Oh, turn down here, let me see you. Boy, you was dressed up. Well, come here. Let us have this dance. Wait a minute. Remember your kidney misery? Oh, the painkiller done took that all out, boy. Come on here.
One of Madame Sul-Te-Wan's last screen appearances was in 1954's Carmen Jones, where she played Carmen's grandmother. The brief pairing with Dorothy Dandridge, who played the title role, managed to spark a rumor that she was Dandridge's real-life grandmother, which of course wasn't true. But when Sul-Te-Wan died in 1959, Jet magazine reported that Dandridge was among the mourners at her funeral. Madame Sul-Te-Wan would marry at least one more time. In 1950, at the age of 77, she married Anton Ebenthayer. They divorced 3 years later. At least one source states that before Ebenthayer, she may have also married a man by the name of Count William Holt, who died shortly after they married. Madame Sul-Te-Wan made at least 60 screen appearances between 1915 and 1959, and it's likely that she probably appeared in more movies and television shows. Of course, as the Hollywood story goes, she mostly played maids, mystics, and criminals in a lot of them. And on top of that, she would only receive credit for about a quarter of her appearances.
I told you, Mustard, those things didn't come with my last order. You mean you never ordered them? I promised to wash your drawers if you'd give me some bleach and cream and hair straightening. Until I get some, you don't get no drawers. Even if you's freezing your mustard.
Madame Sul-Te-Wan died of a stroke on February 1st, 1959. Her final film role was as a witch woman in the TV movie Tarzan and the Trappers, which aired in 1960. She was survived by her son, Onest, and a grandson named James. Check out the description box for more information on this pioneering actress. And of course, if you want to learn more sweet and simple quick facts about classic black cinema stars, don't forget to click that subscribe button. Thank you and goodbye.